Boom, 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 boom. Got a couple fun things to share tonight. A couple fun things. Give me a minute. Minute to win it. We'll give it a minute here. I didn't plan this one out. I'm just kind of going by the seat of our pants. So give me a minute here to let people jump in. Got a couple fun things to share. Why is there no chat available? Maybe I set it up wrong. You guys want to see something new? Where'd I go? Where'd I go? Where is it? Well, now I've gone and done it. Amateur hour's over, guys. All right, we're back. Trying to do a new intro that I found. Hola, what's up? Creighton Wilfong, Mike Cause, Florida Bears fan. I left for just a second. I'm trying to pull some stuff up while we wait some people to come in. I'm going to take you guys through some nerdy stuff today that I've been researching and going over. Let's see, we want to get rid of that one. Audio input, media source, okay. You guys can hear me okay? Sounds good. I'm going to take you through some things, but I wanted to try to add something. I'm going to take you through Shane Waldron, some pre-snap stuff, some things I'm researching tonight. There's a lot to be excited about with this new offense. Hey, I got the new draft hat. Boom. Take this off. New draft hat came in today. Boom. I love it. I'm always wearing my hat backwards. And, dude, at the outlet mall here in Vegas, this was on sale for 40 bucks. Got a sweetness jersey. 40 bucks, man. I got that today. 40 bones. It was a steal. Clearance sale. I have no idea why they're on clearance, but I snagged it. Snagged that right up. Make it louder, please. I'm trying. See what I can do. Boom. How's that? Louder? I just got to talk into my microphone. I got to get a better microphone, I think. We're working on it. All good things. All good things to those who wait. Let's see. Add. What do you guys think of this? What do you think? Good stuff? We're working on some stuff. We're working on some things. We're trying to get there. All right. Sounds fine. Bear down. Goat. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's pull this up. Let's get into this. Let's get into it. We've been here for a minute. We've been here for 5 minutes. A lot of it me bumbling, but let's get into what I wanted to show you guys. Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron. Did it go? Save as. April videos. Shane Waldron. Save. Yes. Let's close it out. Browse. Oh, that's weird. We're bumbling today, guys. We're bumbling. I shouldn't have done a live feed. We'll get there. Give me just a minute. All right, give that just a minute while I upload that. All right, let's look at some of the chat here. Sounds fine, almost 7,000, bear down, remember all these. That 1+2 touchdown was the best part of the season. For our third tight end, do we need a bigger body blocking tight end, or does he like to run 3-pass threat tight ends? Both. He likes to run them out of fullback position as well, blocking tight ends, so he can line them up and put them back and line them up and run them in several different positions, so well-rounded, which is why I think Ben Sinnott is perfect. If we can get Ben Sinnott to come in, that would be a perfect addition for us. We'll see if that happens. Not sure if it will. That would be a second rounder, though. It's the advantage of double trade down there. Who knows what's going to happen at this point? That was the point this morning with my Free Talk Tuesday. I don't have a freaking clue what's going to happen. You hear so many rumors out there. The big rumor today is that the Bears are already having pre-draft conversations with the Colts if Malik Neighbors is there at 9. Multiple rumors on that. Who knows? It's lying season. Who knows what's going to happen at this point? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Oh, dang. What's the name of that store? You got the little bag right here. Vegas Sports and Hockey. Vegas Sports and Hockey is the name of the store. Yeah, Sanders from Texas is a better receiving. I mean, he's really kind of a Kyle Pitts type of tight end. He would be really solid, glue-like hands, good route running more than a normal tight end. So solid addition there if we're going for a receiving tight end. I'm really not past the fact that at 9 we might take Brock Bowers. We're a small trade back and take him at 12 or 13. It just depends on what. It's just not our biggest need. We have so many other needs. So I just don't know if that will happen. But there's a reason we brought him in for a top 30 visit. It's definitely possible. 100% possible. All right, let's see if we can pull this up now. Okay, add. Media source. Okay, browse. Shane Waldron. All right, let's do this. All right, let's bring this in. So title of this one, the more I look into Shane Waldron, the more I love him. There's a lot to go over with this. And I'm going to say right off the bat, this EPA crap, I'm so sick of the EPA crap. For those who don't know, let's pull that up actually. Let me pause this and pull up a web browser. Pull up EPA. Browser. You're getting some live stream here, guys. You're getting some hiccups as we go along. Expected points added is what EPA is, for those who don't know. And basically, how a play should play out, how a team should play out, how many points they should get. That is expected points. There we go. So here's a little site that I think is a decent one. Interact with it. All right, so, and fellow, I don't even know what that is. Oh, they're not going to let me scroll. Some of these are so stupid on this sharing website. All right, let's go back. All right, let's just read that. So expected points added. On every play, a team has the potential to either increase or decrease their expected points. Expected points added is the difference between a team's expected points at the end of a play and their expected points at the beginning of a play. So basically, if you're starting on the 50-yard line, you should be at least expected to get 3 points. If you got a turnover and you're within the red zone, you should be expected to get 7 points. So how a team works against their expected play, to me, the fallacy with that, the problem with that, is because it's a team game, and EPA is really a team stat. So when you're adding EPA to individual players, it really drives me nuts. So I hate the whole EPA, but this was on Twitter today, and it's something that I wanted to share. So the left is the pass blocking efficiency. I added that. All right. So this is how they rank. You see the Bears down there at 26th. This is what I'm talking about with pass blocking efficiency constantly when I bring that up. Miami was number 1 at 89.1% efficient. Last was Tennessee. You can't really see them very well because the way I screenshot it, but they were 74.5. They were the worst. And in between is where everybody is. And your line has a big reasoning to do with how successful you are. Obviously, the pressure put on a quarterback creates problems. But this was offered up. This is EPA per play on the left side going bottom to top. So I know a lot of graphs are laid out wrong. I think this one is laid out wrong because it makes it look like left to right is best. Right is not best. Top is best. Top is best. But this is the percentage of plays with motion at the snap. All right? So something that you're starting to see a trend get more and more of in the game today is you're starting to see more of that pre-motion snap to expose defenses. Let me actually jump forward here. So reasons for wide receiver pre-snap motion. Number 1, to get relief from the press coverage. Number 2, to get a formation that will give man zone tips for the quarterback. You're trying to expose them. You're trying to get them to open up, expose what their defense is, because sometimes you can't tell if it's man-to-man or it's zone the way they line up. Number 3, to unsettle the defense, loosen them up, make them adjust to new passing strength, and show the quarterback 2-deep or 3-deep coverage. It also helps the quarterback in pass protection. Most quarterbacks will redirect the offensive line to where the down safety is to help protect the back in pass protection. Motions help tremendously in seeing how the defense adjusts. Number 4, in known man situations, teams will motion stacks or bunches to make opposing defenses communicate about how they will handle the releases. Do they stay locked up in one wide receiver, or do they play in and out type coverages? When this happens on the fly, it causes confusion and the possibility of a big play. So I like the concept. I think more and more teams are starting to get around to it. It exposes teams. But I wanted to point out here on this, there's that little line that you like. So bottom to top, as we talked about, is good. So those teams above the line, that's above expected, doing better than expected with earned points. Okay, so they did better than they were expected to do. So let's break it down a little farther, and let's add on there where these lines are, these pass block efficiency lines. Well, obviously, most of these teams are solid, but look at how right there, about 27, we're going to say, 27% of snaps when they run motion, not a single one of them, that little cross line right there, not a single one of them is below the 0 line or having negative expected points. They did better than expected when running over 27% of their snaps with motion. So obviously from this, you can see it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the Bears to be running a lot of motion. And so the other thing to show on this that I was looking up, this is from PFF. We'll get back to that. I want to show this. So correlation, well, we got to show that first. So here's how teams did as a whole over the year as their defensive strength and as their offensive strength. You can see the Bears did better on the up and down side. The defensive strength, we were a stronger defensive team than offensive team, but we weren't far below the median line for offensive strength. Teams like the Ravens were both strong on offense and defense. The Chiefs were pretty even all year offensively, did a lot better in the playoffs. And teams like the 49ers did really well offensively and were above average defensively. But then you circulate that and you kind of correlate them, these teams that were strong offensively, and you look at the groupings, all of them ran pre-snap motion except a couple. And those couple, the Cowboys and the Bills, look at that. They were 4th and 5th on pass blocking efficiency. So they had stronger offensive lines than normal, and they could handle not being able to run as much motion. Well, then I got thinking, where do these guys come from? And it got me excited. So they all came from the Mike Shanahan tree. This is what got me excited about, this is what I wanted to share about Shane Waldron tonight. Shane Waldron is part of that Mike Shanahan tree. You see all these guys that are running motion, all these guys here at the top are from that same tree. Mike Shanahan, Mike McDaniel came from him, Kyle Shanahan's his son, Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, Shane Waldron. All these guys came from that same tree, running more pre-snap motion. I like it. So it gives me excitement about what the Bears might be up their sleeves. I was actually kind of surprised the Bears were a little higher than the bunch, but really that bunch is all in the same range, just traditional NFL, not running a lot of pre-snap motion, not really exposing the defenses as much. And I think it's starting to come around. It's starting to change. Those things are starting to change, and I'm excited we have Shane Waldron to try to expose those things. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. So anyways, that was exciting to me, kind of interesting. Gets me excited that he could follow in the footsteps of Matt LaFleur and Sean McVay and Mike McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan. He's right there from the same tree. He learned from the same tutelage. So it gets me excited that he could be following those same footsteps there. Anyways, let me get rid of that media source. We'll just do some free talk for a minute. Come back to this. All right, let me look at the chat for a minute. Kind of went in my mode there for a minute. I see the Bears going to the Super Bowl. Dude, there's so much potential this year. Guys, I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up for this team. I'm pumped up for the draft. I can't contain myself. I'm sitting, all I do when I in work and after work, all I sit here and do is research crap like this. All I do is look at what this team could be doing, what we're headed for, and obviously we know with that graph that I just had up that the Seahawks were one of the worst pass block efficiency teams, but they ended up doing better than average because of how much pre-snap motion, because Shane Waldron was their coordinator. So, yeah, 9 days away, guys. Look at this. Look at all the talk about the draft, because we got the draft coming up. Man, I want to be a fly on the wall right now. I want to be on the fly on the wall in Hallis Hall and hear what's going on with Ryan Poles and their pods and what they're going to do. I don't think I can start a poll on this platform. I didn't do it through an interactive one. I should have done it on StreamYard. We'll do that next time. Yeah, I want to see. I right now, if you were to ask me what I think is going to happen, it's going to be a small trade down, and we're taking defensive end. I just think the value of that position is too much. Wide receivers are going to be there later on, and I think other teams are going to target centers earlier than we want to. If there's one in the second round, I don't know. There's so many good players in the top 50. We need more picks. If you didn't see my free talk video this morning, in fact, let me pull up a little thing from it. Pull up a little thing. Okay, let me pull this up. Right here. This is how Ryan Poles has done through the draft so far, guys. And you see all the hits are in the first, second, and third round. This is what I always say. We can't bank on the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. And right now we have 3 in the top 3 rounds, which is great. And he's really done an awesome job of getting value out of those picks later on and filling the team with need. But we're not in that same position where we're in crazy, desperate, undrafted free agent need. We're in position to hit prime players. And now there's so many in the top 2 rounds of this draft. I just don't see how we don't trade down. How we don't trade down from 9 and get a little bit more value. I don't see how we don't do that. He just has to. That's just Ryan Poles' MO. Look at this. 11 picks and 10 picks, he extracts value out of it. So even though he went in there saying, yeah, if we have those 4, then I picked 25 picks in my first 3 years. So that's an average of 8 a year. Well, yeah, but smokescreen time. He makes it sound like that, not to have high expectations, but that's just not how it works when you get down to the draft. When you get down to time to get there, there's so much value, and there's those needs that we have. All right, let me look at this. I think so too. Edward Buckley, I feel that Washington's going to break down first and make an offer Poles can't refuse, and then we'll be able to juggle and settle for J.J. McCarthy with the haul. I feel like they're going to offer that offer, but I think Poles has passed those days. He's past the days of accepting anything. He wouldn't even take a Herschel Walker trade at this time. He really is in love with Caleb Williams. He's in love with him. He absolutely sees him as the savior of this organization. So I think he's absolutely going with Caleb Williams no matter what. We talk about the no matter what all the time. I think he's going with Caleb Williams 100%. Another play that starts with motion in the reverse direction back to the original side. The move hurt Bears D and the other. Hey, so the other cool thing about motion with this, if you guys didn't see at the end of the season, Velus Jones Jr. was put in the backfield a couple times. And every time they did that pre-motion, he's so quick. He got around the edge, and he was going for 10-yard runs every time. 5 yards without being touched, and then after contact, getting another 5. And then, whatever reason, Luke Getsy just decides, well, that worked. Let's not do anything like that again. Let's not get creative. That's the thing about Shane Waldron. He's so creative. He comes up with stuff that you haven't seen before or has a different variation. He keeps defenses on their toes. So I really think Velus Jones could be lined up in the backfield a little bit more this this season, and create some mismatches. A lot of that Kyle Shanahan type of thing. And again, they came from the same tree. So that same Kyle Shanahan type of approach, we're going to see some stuff like that. And we have some very similar players to that style. Bear down, everyone. Bear down. Yeah. You see how Geno Smith, that's how you get your quarterback to 70% completion. You see how Geno Smith improved so dramatically. I was one of those that counted him out. Just like I'm talking about Jordan Love this year with his bad pass percentage. He was one of the worst in the league. Geno Smith, before he went to Shane Waldron, had one of the worst poor pass percentages in the league. And he has absolutely revitalized his career there. Do I think he's anything special? No. I think Shane Waldron could have taken Justin Fields and made him an MVP 100%. Now, they see something special in Caleb Williams, so that makes me think Caleb Williams right off the bat can do some really special things. He's going to have his learning curve. There's going to be a period where he has to adjust to the NFL, but he's going to be one of those C.J. Stroud type of situations because of the situation he's coming into and because of a play caller like Shane Waldron. He really hit the jackpot here, getting lucky to come into that. Yeah, Geno Smith is case in point for how much a coach matters. So I'm excited about Shane Waldron. I know a lot of people are still up in the air in it. He might even be being set up to take over as head coach one day. As long as we're winning, Eberflus will stay here. But Eberflus would be the next one on the chopping block, not Ryan Poles. Eberflus would be the next to lose his job. If Alt is available at 9, I think the Bears will draft him. If not, I think the Bears will draft the defensive end. I don't even think if Alt is there, we're taking him. I don't. Ryan Poles talked about how this is a deep offensive tackle class. I love Joe Alt. I think Joe Alt is special. But they didn't even bring him in for a top 30 visit. I think they would use him as draft leverage. If Alt is there, they would use it with a team like the Saints or, several teams that need an offensive tackle. There's so many that need enough to have them trade up and get more value out of him. That's absolutely what I think. Man, I just don't see us taking JPJ in the first round. I would love JPJ, there's so many players we need. Why can't we just have all the picks in the draft? Why can't they be all for the Bears? I mean, we've struggled for so long. We've had such horrible quarterback play. We've gone through the trenches nonstop, up and down roller coaster, little glimpses of hope, and then getting smashed by the Packers. Why can't we just have like 10 draft picks this first round? It's just only fair. Yeah, they don't have to announce it, but people see it. I mean, so Creighton Wilfong said he went to Notre Dame, so they don't have to announce it. Well, that's true, but people see it, and he's someone they would see, and it would get out there. I mean, Cam Hart even went to Notre Dame, and it got out. So, all right, we won't keep this much longer. I just wanted to show mostly the Shane Waldron thing. I'm going to pull that back up for a second. Anybody tuning in late? Boom, 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 boom. This is what I wanted to show on this, the coaching tree. Shane Waldron coaching tree. So this graph is EPA, so points added per play. The red line there going horizontally is 0. So above that line is great. Below that line, not so great. And you see the Bears were below that line. Percentage of plays with motion in the snap. I know it's kind of hard to see, but right where the Bears is just above 20. And then right where you see the Niners and the Packers, that's around 40. And then the Dolphins are right up there about 70. 70% of plays they did pre-snap motion. And if you watch them, such fast players, we've got some of those fast players too. But they all came from that same coaching tree. Mike Shanahan with his son, Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel under them, Sean McVay under them. Shane Waldron learned under Sean McVay, so came from that same tree. Matt LaFleur learned under the same tree. So that's what has me excited today, is seeing that connection. This Jake Grossman is where the graph came from. He didn't add all the other stuff, so sorry if I'm tainting what he actually posted. I added my own stuff to that with the boxes and Mike Shanahan and the coaching tree, but that's what I wanted to show. So I did put a post out. Let me pull that up. Let's see what it's doing. I put a post out on YouTube. Let's see where that stands. Of what people think Ryan Poles is going to do. All right, let's see here. And my options were trading to come up, so less than 4 picks. Stand pat, use exactly his 4 picks. A trade to generate a little bit of value, get 5 or 6 picks total. And then wheeling and dealing, more than 6 picks. And it looks like, here, I'll print screen it. Where it is right now. We'll pull it up here. I'm still learning as I go here, guys. Lots to learn with doing this, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy all of you guys being here. All right. So here's the poll. And right now it looks like most people think he'll do at least one trade, a trade or two. About 50% of people polled. Looks like 632 votes. I just did this a little while ago. Looks like about a quarter, so another 24% think we'll stay exactly with those 4 picks and just take best player available. 16% say we're going to come up and have less than 4 picks. This would be the people that are thinking we're going to trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr. or for Rome Odunze. And then 11%, so 1 in 9, think we're going to wheel and deal, that we're going to trade down and extract a lot of value. We have 7 holes we need to fill. So he's going to trade down several times and get more than 6 picks, which I'm not opposed to him doing that. You've seen several of my mock drafts. As long as we can have 4 or 5 of those in the first 3 rounds, I'm good with that. So it's all going to come down to where these pods are, what they think when it comes to those positions, because they might have someone that's way out of position. They might have someone that's way down. They might have several guys in a group of position. Say we're there at 9 and we've got 7 guys that we're comfortable with. That's a reason where you trade down, because you've got all those guys that we brought in for top 30 visits, like Xavier Worthy, Ladd McConkey, Zach Frazier, where you've got all those guys. And I would love, man, if we could just trade down just a little bit and still get Jared Verse, Laiatu Latu. And man, what if Latu just absolutely falls down boards and goes way down, and we're able to snag him in the second round? How crazy would that be? I mean, that would be crazy. But if we could grab an edge and then grab Zach Frazier, trade up from 75 and get Ben Sinnott, get Ladd McConkey in the second round. I mean, there's so many different. Xavier Legette, there's so much. It's gonna be fun. I am going live next week, guys. It'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna have some good stuff going on during it. I'd be more than happy to trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr. We need blue chip players. Okay, so this is the thing I keep hearing with people when we talk about Jason Toy. I'm not trying to call you out, because it's a great comment. We need blue chip players. Joe Alt. I agree. He's a blue chip player. 100% he's a blue chip player. But Braxton Jones was not a scrub last year. Braxton Jones actually played very, very well. Who's to say how many guys are blue chip players? Everybody thought Quentin Johnston was a blue chip player last year, one of the top wide receivers off the board. Every year we say what a blue chip player is, but teams know what their blue chip players are. And their blue chip players are all that matters. So if the Bears say there's 20 blue chip players in this draft class and they're comfortable trading down from 9 and they still get a blue chip player and we pick up a player that should work out in the second round. So again, look at, I shouldn't have closed it. Shouldn't have closed it. Look at, now I gotta find where it was. All right, look at this right here. Look at those first 2 rounds. So in 2022, the first 3 rounds, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, and yeah, Velus Jones didn't necessarily work out so far. So let's say the top 2 rounds, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, huge hits, home runs. They are solid starters in this league, getting better every year. And then last year, Darnell Wright, first round, Gervon, I get that I don't say his name right, guys. It's hard for me. Gervon, I think, is what everyone says you should say. Gervon Dexter Sr. and Tyreek Stevenson. All 3 of those are home run hits so far, especially if you take the last of the year. Gervon Dexter had 4 sacks in the last 5 games. Tyreek Stevenson, all 4 of his interceptions came, and his forced fumble punch out came in the last, I think, 6 or 7 games. In the last half of the season, at least. I mean, he really took that rookie step up. He really absolutely killed it, and made that leap. Now we've got 2, and if we can convert that 9 into, say, 14 and 45, he's done really well with those second rounders. So there's no reason to think that can't be a hit in the second round, and the first round should be a hit as well. So blue chip is relative. Yeah, what's blue chip? We can say what blue chip is, but who knows what Ryan Poles thinks blue chip is. And if there's 20 guys in this draft that he thinks are blue chip, and there's so many that I think are blue chip that, I mean, even some that didn't test that well with their RAS. If you saw Tyler Nubin, his RAS score was like a 3.8 or something. But dude, to me, Tyler Nubin is a generational safety. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl game changer day 1, but for whatever reason, he didn't grade out well. And then there's other guys that grade out excellent and don't end up panning out well in the NFL. So we'll just have to see how it pans out. But, I mean, who knows what Ryan Poles has up his sleeve and what he has on his board. All right, let's look at a couple more comments, then we'll wrap it up here. I didn't mean to go super long here. I just wanted to share my thoughts on Shane Waldron, because I am super excited about this coaching staff. I'm excited about Chris Beatty. I'm excited about, man, everything we've brought in should lead to instant success with Caleb Williams. And I did a couple videos on that. There's no reason for this not to be successful day 1. If he's truly a generational quarterback, if he's truly this special guy, we've never had an opportunity to draft that before. And now we've got Shane Waldron working with him. We've got Chris Beatty with the wide receivers, with a stacked wide receiver room. This is going to be a lot of fun. First couple rounds are big hits for Poles. Bottom of the draft has not been great except for Braxton. But that's the thing, guys, with every team. Bottom of the draft is not meant to be your home run hits. So if you saw what I wrote on, I got to quit closing this out. I just don't plan on keeping it open. If you saw what I wrote for that, all right, where was it in here? Right there. Look at what I wrote for the different areas. So round 1 should be immediate starters, impact makers. That's what your first rounders should be. Round 2 and 3 could start, but should develop into a starter. So as you go farther down into the draft, look at what I wrote for day 3 picks, round 4, 5, 6, and 7. Looking for high upside to develop. You don't have expectation on rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. Some positions you do, like running back, you should be able to extract value out of your running backs in the 4th round. Linebackers, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, you should be able to have some playmakers, some impact makers that come out of linebackers, just the way it is. You get into your offensive linemen, you get into your defensive ends, you get into your wide receivers, you get into your quarterbacks. Those usually aren't hits in round 4, 5, 6, and 7. You're not expecting those to hit. You want them to, and then when they do, it's pretty awesome. And look at first year, 2022 for Ryan Poles. Braxton Jones is it. That's the only hit. the rest of those. But look where they all. They started pick 168, then 174, 186, 203, 207, 226, 254, 255. Those are bottom of the barrel. The draft is basically over at that point. You're drafting undrafted free agents at that point. So when you look at that, these are flyers. You're taking flyers on these guys. So even though he said he had 21 draft picks, that doesn't mean everything. I mean, you're drafting undrafted free agents essentially. Elijah Hicks had moments of greatness, but he's really a liability. There's a reason we picked up three safeties this offseason. And then the next year, Roschon Johnson, still to be determined, but really good hit. But again, running back position. Tyler Scott, I haven't given up on him yet, but hasn't really panned out so far. Hopefully he puts the work in and can pan out. Now, Noah Sewell, that's the linebacker position. That is a position that should hit more than others in the late rounds. Terrell Smith, I think, was an awesome snag, actually. So, actually, if we're looking at last year, 4th and 5th round, to be determined, but really high upside. And then you look at the 7th round, 218 and 258. Again, both busts for us. Didn't work out. So, those are flyers. And what's nice is we're getting past the days of taking flyers. We're getting past the days where we have to get those undrafted free agents. That's one of the points I made this morning, is we're past that. We're to a place where this team is stacking up quality over quantity. And so that's a big argument that a lot of people have for not trading back, is taking the absolute best player available, the one that you're most sure is going to be a hit in the NFL. I got a little fray on my new hat. Going to be the absolute hit, and take him. Well, if he sees 5 guys at the same quality, then that's when he's going to trade back. So I'd be happy if they can trade down and still get 2 blue chip players, and Braxton Jones has been decent, but don't think we can definitely upgrade from him. Alt would be an upgrade of Braxton Jones. We'd have one of the best swing tackles. I don't know if he'd re-sign with us at that point. Let's see. We can have a blue chip at 1, absolutely. Caleb Williams is deemed by most to be the most generational quarterback since at least Trevor Lawrence. A lot are saying since Andrew Luck. So he's definitely blue chip. Trust the tape first. I agree with that. The especially with wide receiver positions and linebackers, 40 times don't mean everything. This whole thing about Xavier Worthy jumping up draft boards, he's not even in my top 10 wide receivers. To me, he's not. It doesn't change the size of his frame, 160-something pounds. It doesn't change his tape that didn't impress me significantly. So I don't have Xavier Worthy jumping boards, but we absolutely need to hopefully don't just go off RAS scores. All right, I like that one. McFact, he says, Adam, I just got here. Do you think the offense will be more explosive this year? 100%. You're going to see the ball passed more. You're going to see more first downs. And I know a lot of people say Shane Waldron mixes it up well. Yes, he does. But look at the weapons we have on this team. He's not going to pass up on the opportunity to throw to Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, a rookie, Cole Kmet, and Gerald Everett. He's not going to pass up on that opportunity. And I truly think they're going to do the throw him to the wolves situation and get him some comfortable stuff, but then start letting him air it out and get some confidence under him. I think Caleb Williams is set up to have an absolute dominant rookie year with this team. It's going to be fun to see what we do on offense, because we're going to have the ball a lot longer too with the way our defense has been playing. This defense isn't automatically going to regress. Nothing changed. All we did was got rid of Eddie Jackson. That's it. We didn't change the defense at all. And then if we add another defensive end to this team, it's even more stacked. So there's not a lot of changes to this. All right, we are going to wrap it up. I want my own Penny Sewell and let right or alt be tight end in motion on jumbo sets. Yeah, I mean, Braxton Jones is super solid, guys, but I don't know if he is a Super Bowl caliber tackle, and you need those. But he's done well, and I want to see competition, and I want to see us improve. We're at the point where we can start upgrading every position. We can start upgrading everything because of where we are. So this team is in good shape. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Really, this one was about Shane Waldron, my excitement for him. I'm getting pumped for this team. I don't know if I can wait another freaking week for the draft. I'm seriously on pins and needles. I'm freaking going nuts over this thing. I know you guys feel the same way. This is crazy time. It's my life is circulating, revolving around this right now. It's crazy. So hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys are able to enjoy the next week and not go crazy like me. I am stir crazy. I'm truly going stir crazy. I'm trying to analyze and dissect everything and get into everything, but it's relatable for everybody. So with that, we'll wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all you being here. I'm gonna go live with we're gonna record one with Swifty on Thursday. We're gonna try to do some more videos together, maybe get a weekly thing going. So I'll let you guys know when we have something scheduled down for that, and we'll go forward from there. The draft is 1 week from Thursday. I will be going live about a half hour before it starts, and then into it. I mean, probably the full 3 hours. It'll be a lot of fun. So come check it out at least for a little bit. See the reactions if you want to. And with that, I hope you guys have a great night and bear down.